they make everything that you want to see or use. This
Mm-hmm.
one is the 7'3". We call it our drop shot rod. It's a medium action 4 to 14 pound test, or 8 to 14 pound test, sorry. And I pair it up with the Streamside reels, which
those Streamside reels are beautiful reels. If anybody has a
for the dollar,
chance,
yes, they are. Yeah, for the dollar, yes, they are.
We'll get more into that later. We'll let Ed plug them.
And then when I'm doing steelhead, I run a Streamside Force rod, and I run the Streamside Extreme.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
So it's let me flip it so you can see the inside there.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah.
Very smooth, excellent quality for the money. Now, when I'm trolling, I run offshore planer boards. I've been with offshore sponsored for quite a while, but I've been using them for 30 odd years. Now they make all sorts of different planers. They make mini planers. This is called an OR12. This is their SST. It's a giant board for salmon, steelhead, and muskie. Then they also make an attachment that's called a tattle flag, so that when you get a bite, it moves.
Yeah.
Or if it picks up, say you're trolling crankbaits or whatever, and you pick up a weed, it'll pull down just a little bit, letting you know that there's something on. So you bring it in, and you clear it, and you check it, and away you go. And they make
now those planer boards. The name of the planer board again, Ed?
It's Offshore Tackle Company.
Offshore Tackle. They are like they're the planing board.
They're number one.
Yeah.
Right here.
100%. Yeah.
Best in the business as far as I'm concerned, and pretty much everybody else that I know that is concerned.
Yeah.
They're based out of
Tyler's on board here. Tyler Russell wants to know, how does those planers work, and how do we rig them up, line to planer board to lure?
So how it works is, I'm just going to use this one here as an example. You let your lure out, whatever your set depth is. Now, one of the best apps that you can have is called Precision Trolling Data, and it will give you a dive curve on pretty much any lure ever made. I think it's 120 US dollars a year, or no, for lifetime, sorry. And like I said, it has every lure ever made in it. So you let out your line, your lure, to whatever desired length or depth that you want.
Yeah.
Then you take your planer board. Now I have the OR18 on here. It's called the Snapper. Oh, yeah, you can see it there. So you put from the rod tip, your line goes into this one, and then it locks down.
Gotcha.
Then for the back clip, this is called an OR16 clip.
Yeah.
And it has a little pin in it. Now, I don't know if you can see that little pin in there.
Yeah.
But your trailing line, which goes to your lure, goes in that. And then you just set it out however far away from the boat. You can go anywhere from 20 feet to 100 feet, depending on your spread. Like I at times I have 5 boards a side out. So I'll have 10 lines in the water, and this keeps them all separate.
Now that's quite the dance, though. To operate, you need quite a bit of room on the water to have that many boards out at a time.
Yeah. I don't do that when it's very busy, but I've done it.
So Tyler, does that answer your question, buddy? Sorry, Ed, not to cut you off.
No problem.
But I just want to ask Tyler if that answers his question on understanding how the planer boards work. Awesome. Good. Awesome. Okay. Carry on. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, they're very versatile. They have multiple products for trolling. It's all trolling technology.
Hmm.
This here, that is called
I've
a
seen that.
tadpole. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is called it's an offshore tadpole. Now this is a number one. It's 1 ounce,
Yeah.
and it'll go down. I believe 5 feet for every 10 feet. Or no, 1 foot for every 10 feet of line out. I believe. Then they also are anybody who's trolled crankbaits and stuff. They get out of tune. So they've come up with this. It's called the crankbait tuner, and it's
Okay.
very simple to use. You just put it on the eye of your hook, right or left, whichever way your lure is going, and you just squeeze it and it clicks. It's got like a slip drag system in it, so that it
Okay.
won't destroy your lures. It won't bend it, 90 degrees. It's only little tiny increments that it moves it until it runs true. One of their biggest products, besides the planer boards, is the Pro Weight system.
Yes.
It used to be called the Snap Weights. They've changed
Yep.
a little
Snap
bit.
weights
Yeah, and
or
that
clip
is
weights.
yeah, yep, Snap Weights, Pro Weight system, something like that. Now, a number of years ago, offshore went almost completely green with no lead in their products now, like 99% lead free, which is beneficial for everybody, the fish, us, everybody.
Yeah.
They use a combination of bismuth and other metals that are non-toxic, so that
Okay.
really helps out with everything, really.
Yeah. Well, we all know the huge die-off from the lead poisoning back in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Anybody that was around in the industry remembers that, and never again, I think, floated around the table as a
I wouldn't be
yeah. And
surprised.
then guys like Scotty, like with the honey hole, if it wasn't for gentlemen like himself, Scotty Martin, with procuring a healthy brood stock for our walleye fishery. I tell us a little bit more about the boat. You're working with what, an 18-foot, 20-foot?
It's a tracker calls it their. Now this is a very different model from most, and I don't believe this boat is made anymore. This one is a 17, and it's called a Pro Guide 175 WT, which WT stands for walk through windshield, right?
Yeah.
This one has a beam of 101 inches, and it's, I believe, 17'9" or something like that.
Yeah, we'll give you 18.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah. I just want to thank Tyler and Nicole and Sherry Lynn and Matt for joining the stream. My guest tonight is Ed McKenzie from Fishing Eyes Charters. Also a certified charter captain on the Great Lakes, both Ontario side and into Detroit, as well as Team Stream side. And you're a CF with a nice mark on the back. That's a beauty boat.
There it is. Okay, I'm gonna just grab any lure here. Here we go.
Sure.
So what happens is, let me get a different one. This one isn't.
Well, I know, like the eye of the lure will get tweaked in such a way. I've always taken the eye of a lure and bent it just a little bit, just to give it that.
Basically, what you're gonna do, and how these work, is the short part goes on the eyelet of the
Okay.
bait. The long part goes against the bill, and you just click it, and it just moves it incrementally until
Okay.
it moves through. And it has these ones have a fully adjustable strength.
Okay.
That's this knob here. Sorry, that knob there
Yeah.
will increase or decrease the amount of pressure you're putting on the eyelet itself.
Ah,
It really is
interesting.
a pretty good system. I haven't really seen anything out there better. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're made for.
And these ones are tuned. You told me that these ones will catch.
Oh
They're
yeah.
pre-tuned, ready to go, ready to rock just for me, and they'll catch me walleye. That's what
No,
you told me in Bowmanville, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Oh, they will. If I've tuned them, they will. Now I also get into some painting of baits that I want to use, colors that are not very. I'm gonna just.
Oh yeah. Very plain, right? A little bit of iridescence to show a little bit of
Flash on it.
a little bit of flash on it for scale and whatnot. But as you and I both know, depth trolling and light and color start to play a different role.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I get into some pretty gaudy ones as well.
Yeah.
This is one
But
that I
those are
paint.
the ones that catch, though.
At times,
Yeah.
they all have their purpose, and I use this more for dirty water, stained water.
Dirty water or deep?
Dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, like stained waters and stuff like that. So yeah, it's I do quite a bit of painting myself. I don't like I have lots of friends and stuff that ask me for the lures because they just flat out work.
Mm-hmm.
So I do it for them.
Yeah.
I don't market anything. Like I have nothing out there. Like you got Wacom Tackle and
Yeah.
Warrior.
You're busy enough keeping your lures looking fresh for the fish. Never mind trying to make a profit and sell it. I get you. Yep, for sure. But you're always up for helping somebody out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And they are beautiful. Like the finish you put on them. Like, how long does it take you to do, say, half a dozen for yourself?
For myself, I'll rush it a little bit. It takes me a couple hours from start to finish, and then ones that I'm doing for friends, I put extra clear coat and stuff on them for them so that they last a bit longer. Let me just grab. Like this is one of my most popular colors, and it's purple. But if you take a look at that, if I can get it to focus enough, that lure has just been chewed up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's probably
got war wounds on it. I can see the scratches
all over the place. So
that's a jointed Rapala.
Yes, that is. That's the VHJ jointed.
Yeah. Now, there's with Tackle Tuesday being that it is, I just want to take a moment to thank again everybody that's tuning in. Ed is my guest for this evening, and just want to bring to everybody's attention. Contest is still going on from last week. Trish was my guest last week, and we were talking about versatility. And Ed and I are going to get into a little bit deeper topics shortly. However, Sticks and Stones has this lovely buff that I'm giving away, and they're a great Canadian group, and I just want to send everybody over there and check them out. Whoever can give me Trish's favorite band or singer out of the three listed, if you're following along on my pages, you're going to win that buff. So, contest ends this week after this podcast. So, you still have till Friday. Get your guesses in. Win the Sticks and Stones buff. Trish got the lure, and, well, you guys can win the buff. Ed, back to you with all that's going on. Did you see Did you see this coming down the pipe and us getting shut down as a I guess you could say as an industry? Did you see the fishing industry gonna take this hit?
Charter captains were hit especially hard because we're not allowed to have anybody on the boat in either yellow or red. So yeah, it's hard. You know, the charter captains took a beating this year. Personally, with my vertigo, I've been out since last January, so I didn't get out there this year. Now I know a whole number of charter captains, and you know, some of them worked. They kind of threw caution to the wind, I guess, if you want to say that. They took the precautions and this and that, but I know a lot of charter captains that didn't, or that didn't work either. They followed the regular, you know, what's recommended and this and that, and it hurts, you know. This is how a lot of them make their money.
Well, it's true. It is a full-time business for these guys and girls. You know, lodge owners included.
Yeah, lodge
like
owners.
This really has put a chink in our armor, as it were, because
for the fishing industry itself, it's probably been one of the most banner years in recent memory, because people had so much time off. You know, if you were just say just you or just your buddy or whatever, you're off work, you're not doing this, you know, you've got your money, you're not having to, you know, struggle to whatever, where you're gonna go. You got nothing to do, you cleaned the house, you cleaned the garage, you washed the car.
You're fishing, you earned it. Right?
So, you know, in a whole pile of ways, COVID has helped the fishing industry. As a general overview, because more people are out fishing. License, you know, license.
Yeah, licenses are up, and more people are taking the opportunity to get out and be more outdoors, as it were. But where I see it hurting is guys like you.
Yes.
You can only take maybe one, maybe two if you're pushing it. Clients out at a time. And you got to be 6 feet apart. Yeah, and when push comes to shove, guess what? You know, I've been on charters before, and it's not a one-man show. Everybody puts in when the fish is coming to the boat. Everybody gets dirty. It's teamwork at that point.
Correct. Like I said, in some ways, my vertigo. Now I've never had it before. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, but you know, it's saved me from all of this COVID stuff because I can't drive, I can't do anything right now. So it affects me, but it didn't affect me because with the vertigo, I'm not going out, I'm not seeing anybody, but I'm also not making any money doing this. So you know, it's
Catch-22. Yeah,
exactly.
Now is vertigo, did that both? Okay, I'll back up the bus a little for anybody that knows us or is going to watch this later on. Both Ed and I have been in the hospital for heart attacks. Correct, Ed?
Yeah.
And we're both here through the grace of a higher power or what have you, and science and medicine. But now you have vertigo.
Yeah, I was diagnosed January 30th of 2019. I don't know.
And how long was that after your heart attack that was the diagnosis? 2 years it came in. And did you have any 3? Sorry. Did you have any onset symptoms?
No, I had nothing. I was up early, making my wife and myself breakfast one day. I walked out into a cold garage and I walked back in the house, and that was it.
So you had this sensation of this like zero atmosphere gravity kind of falling all the time,
Well, it's
or when it takes over?
yeah, mine isn't. There's a couple of different types of vertigo.
Okay.
Mine is not positional vertigo, whereas a lot of people, if they move their head this way or they turn this way, that's when it happens.
Yeah.
Mine is just always. It doesn't go away. Yeah, it's now it ranges in intensity, I guess that's what you call it. I'm gonna say 90% of the time I'm functional,
Mm-hmm.
but 10% of the time I have to sit down or lay down or just don't move.
Yeah.
It just gets like that. And
Yeah.
I what it's done to me personally is I'm off balance a lot. Like I
Yeah, me
stumble
too.
down, I bump into things, I bump into people. Uh, there's times I've had to grab onto somebody to keep myself from falling over.
Yeah, I can attest that it's been going on 4 years almost. Yeah, 4 years. But I'm nowhere near recovered, and I still have like these certain aspects about me that are residual from my accident. So, but here we are, and then I was all pumped to start the fishing year this year and go to the shows, and one after another they were all shut down, and I was like,
I was lucky. I did get to the first the spring show,
yeah,
the only one that took place, and I got there. I had my vertigo there, so I wasn't working, but I stopped
that
in
was
and I
the Barry show, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No. That was in Toronto or Mississauga, the international place there on Airport Road.
Are you telling me I missed Andy's show? Andy's
You
show
did.
went on this year and I didn't go?
Yeah, 2019 or 2020's edition, but that was the only one, and then they just shut everything down.
I think I need a moment.
Now let's.
Anyways, I didn't go to any of them, none of them anyways, because after Andy's show, they all fell apart anyways. So,
Yeah.
but Andy, Plata, I love you, and hopefully we could get this shit sorted out so that I can come to the 2021 show.
That's it. I missed them too because
I must have missed an email somewhere. I don't know.
I work about 6 or 7 shows, half here and half down in the States. I usually do what's called the Triple S. It's a dealer show. And
okay,
then I do the Greater Niagara.
I'm familiar with it. Yep. Yeah. Now, you've been in the industry for a long time, long enough to be a tackle guru of sorts. So, for all our viewers out there, what would you suggest for somebody starting off long lining for walleye, rod to lure? Like, just give them the whole setup, what they need to start with.
Most people are most comfortable with a spinning reel.
Okay.
So you're going to get yourself a medium to a medium heavy rod. Now, like I said, I'm biased because I'm stream side and I've been stream side for a while.
Yeah.
The Predator, their stream side Predator Elite combos or rods are excellent. They're great value for the dollar.
Yes, they are.
The warranties are unbeatable.
They're a polycarbon fiber wrapped graphite rod.
Now the reels
that
themselves
are airlight, like the lightest rod I've ever felt.
Yeah, they have the 10, 20, and 30 series reels. Now I pair them up with the Streamside. It's called Sureline braid.
Yep.
This what's on here that you can see is 20, and then I run a leader, a fluorocarbon leader, which Streamside also sells, but you can use whoever. It doesn't matter whether, just use a good braid.
So this is a drop shot setup for like drop shopping jigs with leeches or worms or something.
Well, yeah, this particular one here, now they have,
okay,
geez, I don't know, 30 models of spinning.
I'll put a link in the description after this.
And then a crankbait. Now it depends whether you're going to be, how deep you're fishing, whether you're going to be running deep or shallow, right?
Yeah.
Let out a, it's hard to gauge. Now, one way you can gauge is, it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but with your spinning reels, you can, if you're using braid, you're not breaking it off that often. So measure out 100 feet, put a black mark with a marker or something on your line, because most braids are green or yellow or something like that. So you mark off 100 feet and you do it again. Yeah. And then, it's simple, it's cheap, and it works. Use permanent marker though.
Yes.
then you have some idea of what you're letting out, so you know where your lure is.
So overall, getting a rod and reel combo, that's probably your best bet, is to hunt after a rod and reel combo that already has a rod and reel suited for the style of fishing you're going to go into.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes, 100%. Now, the Streamside stuff here is all balanced and matched and color coded. I believe you can get this retail for about 160 to 175, depending on where, complete. And I believe that this Predator Elite has a 2-year warranty. It's I think about $100 to $120, again, depending on where you buy it. And the reels go for $60 to $80, depending on where you buy it. So, for $200, you've got a pretty decent rod and reel outfit that will last you a long time.
Yeah. And that'll get you out there. And now for pricing, people tend to say, well, I'm not booking a charter. It's too friggin' expensive.
Well, charters, if you fish a lot, I've met a number of people, and I've taken a number of people out who have their own boats. They have most of their own equipment that they need. They just don't have the knowledge. And by knowledge, I mean everything that goes along with it. Lures, presentations, locations, everything. Hiring a charter captain or a guide boat is going to cut your learning curve huge. I had this years ago. I had this client come to me. It was a quick booking. Him and his father had bought a boat. They'd been out for 4 or 5 days, and they'd only caught one fish. So they called me up and, can you take us out? I looked at my availability, said, yeah, sure. Out we went. And they're taking pictures in the boat and locations and what I'm using and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And we put a beat down on the fish. Now, I did not ever see them again as a client, but I get messages and reports from them all the time. And thank you, saying, look, we learned a lot of stuff now that we can go out and do it. So instead of spending, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 trips yourself, and with marginal success, out you go with a guide, and he's going to cut your learning curve in half.
Well, the key is, though, you got to listen up and watch and be attentive the whole time that you're out there. A lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but people have in the past used charters as a kind of a mini vacation, if you will.
I use charters myself. I went I was booked. The wife and I were booked to go down to Costa Rica. I'm trying to think of the date. It was 4 or 5 years ago, and my charters were supposed to be $700 US each. Well, I was okay with that. Now, this was also a group charter. There was going to be 2 to 3 other guys on this boat.
Big boat.
But yeah, about a month and a half before we were actually due to leave, the charter service called up and said, "Well, your price, we're having to way offshore now, and your price is going to be between $1,000 and $1,200 each." And I said, "Whoa!" Now we're also talking U.S. dollars, so that's 30% on top of your Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
So I said no. I said, "You just lost me." And we went. Luckily I purchased the travel insurance, and we went to the travel agent, and we booked a place in Mexico called Huatuco, Mexico.
Okay.
So this was a bucket list trip for myself, and the wife always likes to go away somewhere tropical. So I asked the agent that we booked with about guides and charters and stuff down there, and she said, "Hold on." She was gone for a couple of minutes, and she comes back and she said, "I made a phone call, and you're going to get a call from one of the captains." So true to the word, they came through, and I booked 2 charters with them, and I said, "Well, how much is this going to be?" And
Pardon me.
no problem. He says $350 US each, private charter.
What?
Oh yeah. So I went out and I said, yeah. I said, book me in.
That's a steal.
Yeah. So I went out. Now it wasn't a huge boat. It was a 20-footer with twin 60 outboards on it.
Okay.
We went out the first day and I caught 2 sailfish.
Nice.
One in the 60-pound range, one in the 100-pound range. The next day I went out, and within 10 minutes I'd hooked up to a marlin. And 45 minutes later, we boated it. The only fish I didn't catch on my bucket list trip was a rooster fish, and they just didn't want to play. But yeah, do your homework. I got a little lucky.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? That's just it. Do your homework, and anybody that's booking a charter, by all means, book them with Ed. Once this fiasco with the COVID winds down. Now, when do you start your season? When do you shut your season down? Do you do ice fishing charters
anymore? I used to do ice fishing, but it's just too much working. Honestly, there's a lot of nonsense that goes on with ice fishing.
You don't have to tell me. I've seen it firsthand.
I usually start my season in March, late March or early April, down on the Detroit River, and I'm usually down there for 3 weeks to a month. And then I fish Lake Erie for a couple of weeks. Then I come back home. Now that's the Windsor area that I'm fishing: Windsor, Leamington, Colburn, Colchester. And then I come back and I take a little bit of time off. I do a little bit of salmon fishing. I do a few charters for salmon. I'm not the guy to go to for salmon. My boat isn't, one of these 30-foot luxury liners that's, they're serving you everything. But then I start up again for walleye, usually mid-August, and I go till freeze up. I've actually been out. I've had clients out in the boat in minus 27 weather, open water fishing. We had to break up a bunch of ice to start. But once we got it done, everybody walked away with their personal bests. 12 and 13-pound walleyes were caught that day.
I just want to take a pause here. Excuse me. Tubby Guy Outdoors, thanks for joining us. Sherry Lynn, Sarah, thanks for joining us. Nicole, thanks for joining us. Tyler, thanks for joining us. Folks, my guest tonight is Ed McKenzie of Chasing Eyes Charters, and he's a professional guide in the Great Lakes and stateside as well. Clients can book him on the Great Lakes close to Detroit for walleye charters. He also deals with steelhead fishing, and he's a successful streamside pro staff, as well as
Offshore.
North Shore. Am I saying it right? The planer boards.
Offshore tackle.
Offshore tackle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ed. Offshore tackle. You're also an offshore tackle pro staff.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, you and I both know that that's a dirty word in the industry, isn't it?
It can be. It can be. I've been with them for a number of years now. But yeah, a lot of people become pro staff that really don't represent the best interest of the companies. It's unfortunate, but it does happen.
Yeah.
I've never jumped ship from one pro staff to another for any reason.
No, I've remained pretty faithful for anybody who's come on board with me in the past.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's pretty frowned upon in the industry.
Yeah. Now, with the planer boards, you get obviously emails and whatnot of what's hot and what's new coming into the next season, per se, right?
Yeah, we have Offshore has a paper that is free to the public, and we distribute to all the tackle shops in the area, and it's called the Offshore Release. And it has price lists in it. It has articles on how to use the equipment, where to use the equipment, what's new. It's got everything in it. And Streamside, normally we do the shows, but like you said, COVID shut everything down. So there's no shows this year and none next year, as far as I know. So you go to your tackle.
Wouldn't it be an idea though? For all of us to do this and somehow put all of the vendors together on one major stream and cast it live on YouTube? Like,
it would be a good idea. I don't know if it's. Yeah, I'm sure it's possible, but it would take a whole lot of legwork to get it done.
Wouldn't it? Like just some of the smaller venues that you and I have ventured to, those are still huge undertakings.
There are a number of people like myself doing what they call webinars. So they're doing seminars. Some are free, some have minimal costs. And they talk about the new product and tackle that they represent. But like there's one that one of the offshore pro staff, Lance Valentine, he does, and he posts it. He posts it all the time, so it's on Facebook as well.
Yeah. So that Offshore Release, that's a free publication. It's online and it's also in a paper copy as well. Still, right?
Yes, it is.
I remember walking into Canadian Tire here or there. Sometimes you get them up north. They'll actually the rep, whomever, will drop off a stack of them into the Canadian Tire fishing section just for the guys to grab and have something to read while they're sitting on their ass waiting for the fish to bite.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But it's all good information in there, right?
Yes, and it's not just walleyes. It's
no.
We use planer boards for catfish. We use planer boards for crappie, muskie, steelhead.
I'm very familiar with offshore planer boards. I've seen it used in all those scenarios firsthand, and like a charm, every time they work.
They do.
When that little clip and that flag pops up, man, it's just as good as watching your tip up go off.
Sometimes I'm not a tip up guy. I'm a jig guy. It's always got to be moving.
Okay, fair enough. All right, all right.
Yeah,
Great.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tubby guys out at my buddy Wyatt there at Tubby Guy Outdoors. He knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Watching the flag pop up there. Yeah. Go sprawling across the ice.
Yeah, with the offshore boards, they travel like this through the water, right?
Yeah.
And when they get struck, now this is what they call a tackle. Let me get the right board. This is what they call a paddle flag, right? So they travel through the water like that, and when they get hit, bam, down it goes.
Yeah. And it flips over on its on the side so that it'll plane through the water without much.
It pulls to the side, and now we have a new release. Well, it's not really new. It's been out for a little while. It's called the Sam's release.
Okay.
Here it is. Oh, that's not it. But what'll happen? Oh, there it is. No, it isn't. What'll happen though is instead of pulling the planer board through the water constantly, what'll happen is this release, the Sam's release, will let go of the line, and this will just dangle.
That's it.
Until you until you unclip it and then fight the rest of your fish out. That's called a Sam's release.
Yeah.
Really good.
Now, is there a Pacific? They use them out there too. No. Yeah. Is there a specific reason why that name was given to it?
This was bought by offshore. They didn't invent it. Somebody else did, and they bought him out. And his name happened to be.
Was his name Sam?
Sam. Yes. So they kept the name, and everybody knows it as a Sam's release.
There you go. Well, hey, if everybody knows it as Sam's release with offshore tackle, why ruin a good thing?
That's right. Yeah. So it just adds to our arsenal, and it makes, before the Sam's release, we played around with different techniques of connecting your line to the front clip of the board so that it could drop out. And they were successful, well, semi-successful. Sometimes just a wave would knock it off. Other times, a fish, and other times it just came undone. But with the Sam's release, it works probably 99 times out of 100.
Back to, I just want to take a moment and put it out there. If anybody's got any questions for Ed, fire away. I see all there in the comment section here on the StreamYard. So by all means, fire your questions away. Tyler, thanks for joining. Nicole, Sherry, Tubby Guy Outdoors. Excuse me. Ed, I really got to stop eating before I come on. I really do. It's nerves, right?
Pantoprazole.
I haven't done this in like so long. So every time I come on, it's just all gas. It's a gas coming on, isn't it?
Get yourself some pantoprazole, buddy. Go see your doctor. I had gas so bad I thought I was having another heart attack.
Being a charter captain, you must have seen it all in the boat.
I've seen a lot of stuff.
You ever see any UFOs?
No, I've never seen any UFOs.
Okay.
No.
Okay, we can check that one off. Ed hasn't seen UFOs. Okay. Any other though? Any outdoor anomalies though?
I've seen deer crossing the Detroit River.
That's a long journey.
Well, that river moves like
it does, and there's muskie in it, so that's a perilous journey. On top of that,
there's also sturgeon that are bigger than the muskies in there,
right? Yeah, would they eat a beaver?
A baby one, a muskie would.
Oh, a muskie would for sure, sure. But a sturgeon wouldn't.
No. They're bottom feeders. They're bottom feeders. we hook on the Detroit. You're not allowed to target them, but you get incidental hookups all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time. Now, what do you do in a situation like that? When the client's all pissy with you and says, I want it or whatever, doesn't want to play by the rules. You ever have that situation go down?
I've had a number of situations, not with sturgeon, but with size limits on the Bay of Quinte. You're allowed 4 walleye. That's our limit.
Yep, that's 4.
Yeah. 3 under 24 or 23.8 inches, and 1 over. We were catching a whole pile of overs one day, and after there was actually 4 clients. There was 5 of us in the boat. After everybody had their over, they were complaining that I was putting fish back because they didn't know, they didn't understand. Yeah. Once I explained the situation to them, they got it. They didn't like it, but they got
it. Just for the viewers at home, you said under 24 inches, right?
It's I believe it's
something like that.
Yeah, it's 1 over and 3 under.
So that's 1 over. I can't even put it in frame, right? But it's a long fish. It's a 2-foot fish, folks.
Yeah.
So if you're not happy with 1 2-foot fish off of a charter guide, don't take a charter guide and just go stick your head in the toilet. Well, because that's a big fish, isn't it?
You're allowed 3 unders as well, and you do catch the unders. They are there.
Well, 3 under that size is still a big fish.
Yeah. Like I said, I sent you a picture there. That the biggest fish in our boat.
Yes, by all means. Wax poetically about. I'll be posting the pictures to go along with this after this goes out.
Yeah.
But the biggest one you boated so far to record is what?
Well, for my boat, it was 35 1/3 inches long by 23 around. 12 hours later, the gentleman that caught it drove from the Bay of Quinte to Wisconsin before he got it weighed. My scale had frozen. It was in December. And he put it on a USGA certified scale. And 12 hours later, he said it weighed 16 pounds, 4 ounces. So over 12 hours sitting in a cooler without ice or anything, it's winter, it's December, so they didn't figure they needed ice, but it probably lost at least a half a pound, maybe a pound.
Yeah.
It was a big brute of a fish.
A little bit of moisture. Wyatt from Tubby Guy Outdoors says, Ed, what's your favorite target species and bait for that species?
Well, I've done, I'm not going to say every freshwater fish, my own personal stuff. It goes by
your own personal favorite. Your own personal
steelhead fishing. Yeah, I like steelhead fishing. I love walleye fishing. But if I had to do just pound for pound pleasure fishing, it would probably be smallmouth. It probably would be.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. I'll chase every other fish under the sun, but when it boils down to it, smallmouth.
Drop shot rigs on the Great Lakes, like it's either going to be one of the Great Lakes or Lake Simcoe that's going to smash the Canadian record, and I'm going to say within 5 years.
Oh, it's
going to happen.
It's creeping up. It's creeping up. Mind you. Yeah, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there tonight. I may eventually go there. It may creep up, whatever. I don't care personally. I have no gain or loss from it. I just see it as an environmental disaster in the smallmouth bass industry. But anyways, moving on, we're talking about walleye and walleye tackle and conquering adversities like COVID and heart attacks, and now vertigo. So, Ed, it's been a pleasure. We've covered a bunch. I don't know if we've covered it all, but if you have any other advice or anything you'd like to share with the guests.
Just get out there and enjoy yourself. You know, unless you're fishing tournaments, it's not a competition. You can have friendly competitions in your boat, but the biggest thing is go out and have fun. That's all. You know, make it enjoyable. Take your kids, teach them fishing. If you don't, there's not many people that's going to do.
Now, that's a good comment. Actually, there's not a lot of people that do. Aside from certain individuals, Mike Sklad and Fishing Frenzies, right? Yvonne Brown with her Fishing 101. As well as Great Canadian Female Anglers. There's a lot of groups that will take you under their wing and show you the ropes if you're interested in getting outdoors and learning about fishing and the aspect of the sport. Ed and I have been fortunate enough to work in it for several years, and but the work, it's not as much fun as the fishing, is it?
I still, you know, if you love fishing, don't become a guide.
No,
No, you love it because it doesn't.
And if you love fishing, don't own a podcast.
It's a great job. You know, I still get a kick out of people, you know, whether they're 6 years old or 60 years old, catching their biggest fish they've ever caught. You know, the excitement is just something that can't be beat. It's a rush.
Now, we're talking about walleye, and walleye is probably pound for pound in Ontario, especially next to perch, the most sought after table fed for freshwater fish. Would you agree?
I agree. Yeah. For me,
what's the best way? What's the Ed McKenzie way to cook walleye?
Now, if you had asked me that 10 years ago, I'd have a different answer for you. I like.
Okay, well, give me that answer first, then. I want to hear it.
Well, you can't beat, you know, a shore lunch. You know, fry it in oil over an open fire, put it on paper towel, dry it out a bit, chow down on it. You know,
just fresh, clean, right from the lake.
Yeah, and nowadays, what the heart doctor recommends is baked with some lemon and pepper and that kind of thing. Stay away from the fried stuff, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Once in a while, I do it still, but yeah. How do you like it now, though?
I like it the other way. I'm not gonna lie. I'd much rather eat a piece of fried halibut than baked halibut.
Right? Can I get my halibut poached, please? No, I want it beer battered.
That's right.
Now, for all those folks out there that don't know about good beer batters, Ed, have you ever tried Bait to Go's seasoning?
I have not tried that yet. I unfortunately, I've always either made my own, or some other commercially bought package, but I haven't tried the Bait to Go stuff yet.
Try it, man. It is so tasty.
Yeah, I'll have to
try it with your favorite Pilsner.
That's a good tip. I'll have to talk to Scotty about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Scotty knows. It's delicious, man. It is. I have a friend who actually knows the legend Rocky Madison.
There we go.
And so who knows? Maybe he may come on, maybe not, who knows. But we were talking about fish coatings, and I said, man, you gotta try this one. I said, I've eaten my share of Rockies, but when I tried Bait to Go's seasoning mix for fish, I was like sold right there. Boom. It was like a one and done. I was like, how do people do this? How do people come up with a recipe and just overnight sensation?
That's right. That's right. Like I haven't tried it. I guess I'm gonna have to put that on my to-do list.
Okay, so but you make your own. So what?
Yeah.
Don't give us the recipe, but it's pretty basic. It's a little bit of flour, a little bit of beer.
Yeah, some baking soda, some other baking ingredients, and then you dip it and fry it. Like I said, it's been a while. I do most of my fish baking now. Hold on a second here.
You getting comments on your end?
No, just my computer's gonna shut down.
Oh,
it's getting down to that time. It's not. It's not.
yeah, it's actually, we've been at this for about an hour now. So
Yep.
But is there any other people that you want to give thanks to?
Just everybody in the industry that are true people in the industry. Streamside, I can't thank enough. Offshore Tackle, I can't thank enough. Even Creek Candy Beats, Randy and I are good friends.
Yeah.
He has an amazing product that, in my eyes, is probably the #1 bead on the market. Scotty Martin and CFN they're doing a huge thing. He's got a number of quality, unmatched guests every week. So yeah, just people in the industry that are true.
Well, I appreciate you still being with me, Ed, and I look forward to coming back to the shows, and hopefully this gets sorted out so that you and I can rub shoulders again in the big arenas.
Yeah, well, once this COVID is gone and my vertigo is gone, maybe we get out in the boat.
That too, right? Yeah. That especially.
Well, a lot of people, Scotty Martin, Red Andal, Scotty's partner there, they both caught 10-pound plus walleyes on my boat, which are their personal bests.
Man, it's funny we're talking about Scotty because I just was going through some old reels, and his 100th episode came up.
Yeah, I saw that. I actually watched it.
So I was like, I'll throw that one out there. That's good for the old memory. Little tear jerker.
Did you fish the honey hole when you were up there?
Yeah, I got it in. I got a call and an invite, and Scotty's like, "Why don't you come up to the honey hole and let me show you what it's all about?" And I got a little tournament going on here, and I'd like you to present some awards and have a hot dog and catch some walleye. And it was a great old time up there. That's a beautiful place, and it's folks, anybody that doesn't know what to do with their time right now, now's the time to volunteer your time actually in these areas, in the industry, in the outdoor industry. Go plant a tree by yourself. Go get, volunteer to be a tree planter. Grab a bunch of little saplings and just go for a walk in the bush and plant trees. It doesn't take a lot anymore to get outdoors, but trust me, if you don't get outdoors, they're going to start keeping us indoors.
That's right. Just
take
a garbage bag with you, pick up the trash that you see, carry it out. Right. I wish everybody would. My last thanks, I guess, would be to a good friend of mine, Peter Cito, who's with it's Peter Cito Sales, but he's also with Streamside, and he does a lot. He does a lot for the industry.
Yep, Peter does. He's a great guy, and I sure missed him this year for Bowmanville.
Yeah. Well, he sold the show to Kyle Carruthers, but he was still a part of it.
Yep.
So yeah, and it's unfortunate that COVID hit. Hopefully that we can get that show back on track.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Get it
Because
going.
it was catching real good steam there, and I was really happy with the arrangement that was happening with that show. It was just getting bigger and better. And didn't we have the mega tank the
No,
one year?
no. I don't
No?
think so. I think we just had. I know Yvonne. She put on something, casting for kids or something like that. It was up
Yeah.
on the stage. And Jim McLaughlin, he did his bit as well. I did a. We had a little seminar sort of deal
Yeah.
one year. There was three different
No, it's a fantastic venue, and again, like the fishing industry is not hurting per se, because more people are getting out and going fishing because of the lockdown, I guess, if you will. It's an oxymoron and a paradox.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, just like the alloy.
But enjoy the outdoors, because that's how, it's never a bad day in the outdoors. It's never a bad day.
That's right.
Really. I've never experienced one. You had?
Well, I hear the saying, a lot of bad day of fishing is better than a good day of work. For me, that's not necessarily so. A bad day of fishing isn't so good for me, because I give away a free charter if you get skunked.
Yeah.
In 8 years,
And that's not good for anyone.
Yeah, it only happened.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ed. You can sign off, buddy. And I appreciate it again. And we'll be seeing you.
All righty. Take care, Ben.
Take care.
Bye now.
Bye now. All right, folks. That was Ed McKenzie from Chasing Eyes Charters. And he works out at Great Lakes here in Ontario, and also into parts of Detroit. And yeah, so hit him up on Facebook under Chasing Eyes Charters, and I'll leave a description down below when I put this up to air. Other than that, I want to read this. Probably wondering what that is. It's that. It's my own custom slate call from Naughty Beaver calls, and go now and click on Naughty Beaver page and check out their calls. They're handmade, they're beautiful. Chris couldn't make it tonight because, well, it's Christmas time. Got to put a rush on the orders. So no worries there. We will talk turkey eventually, Chris. And in closing, once again, we have a Sticks and Stones active buff up for grabs. And if you can give me the name or the name of band or singer that is Trish Austin's favorite all time. That was last week's contest. It ends this Friday. Did I say that right? Yes, it ends this Friday. So get your votes in. I will repost the contest across my platforms. Everybody that joined us tonight, thank you very much. Tubby Guy Outdoors from YouTube. Check him out. He's got a lot of great content over there on the YouTube channel. And I'd also like to thank Sherry, Tyler, Nicole, and most importantly, Ed. Thank you for being my guest. Good night, folks. Stay frosty.